by God, that killed him. That broke him in half. These words are infamous. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, The Masked Hope, and today we're doing a deep dive into the squared circle to relive some of the most shocking, iconic, and just plain unforgettable moments in professional wrestling history. We're talking about the moments that made us gasp, made us cheer, and in some cases made us wonder if what we saw was even real. From the Attitude Era to the Ruthless Aggression Era's dominance, wrestling has given us so many incredible moments. But today, we're narrowing it down. The absolute cream of the crop. The top 5 moments that changed the game forever. And plus, an honorable mention that still gets fans talking. So grab your popcorn because it's time to relive the magic. Kicking off our list at number 5, it's a moment so brutal, so unbelievable, it redefined what we thought was possible in a wrestling match. I'm talking about Mick Foley as Mankind being thrown from the top of a Hell in a Cell by The Undertaker at King of the Ring in 1998. Fun fact, this is the moment that got me into wrestling. Just look at it. A man already known for his disregard of his own body, taking a bump that sent shivers down everyone's spine. And then, as if that wasn't enough, he gets back up. But the insanity didn't just stop there. Minutes later, after being thrown from the cell, he was chokeslammed through the roof of the cell. The sheer grit and absolute dedication to his craft shown by Mick Foley in that match is legendary. It wasn't just a match. It was a defining moment for a generation of wrestling fans, including myself, that set a new standard for what extreme should be. Coming in at number 4 is a moment shrouded in controversy, a real-life drama that blurred the lines between wrestling and reality. The Montreal Screwjob at Survivor Series 1997. For those who don't know, this was the culmination of a bitter real-life feud with Bret Hart and Vince McMahon. Bret was leaving for WCW and didn't want to drop the WWE Championship to Shawn Michaels in his home country of Canada. Vince, fearing Bret would take the title to WCW, decided to take matters into his own hands. To add insult to injury, Shawn Michaels applied Bret Hart's own finishing move, the sharpshooter. Despite Bret never actually tapping, Vince McMahon at ringside ordered the referee Earl Hebner to ring the bell, declaring Shawn Michaels the winner and new champion. The look on Bret's face, the outrage from the Canadian crowd, the absolute chaos that ensued backstage, it was unlike anything wrestling had ever seen. It exposed the inner working of the business and changed the dynamic between wrestlers and management forever. To this day, it is one of the most talked about events in wrestling history. Were you watching live? What was your reaction? I personally still can't believe it happened. Our number 3 moment took place on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 30. It sent shockwaves through the wrestling world that were still felt today. We're talking about Brock Lesnar ending The Undertaker's legendary undefeated WrestleMania streak. For over 2 decades, The Undertaker's streak was seen as untouchable, the guaranteed outcome of WrestleMania 21-0. It was part of the fabric of WWE. No one, absolutely no one, thought it would ever end. And then it happened. Brock Lesnar hit an F5. The referee counted 1, 2, 3. The entire Superdome went quiet. You could hear a pin drop. The look of disbelief on fans' faces, the commentary, even Brock himself. It was a moment that was pure, unadulterated shock. It wasn't just a loss. It was the end of an era. It cemented Brock Lesnar as a legitimate force and left a lasting legacy on The Undertaker's career. Whether you loved it or hated it, cannot deny the monumental impact of that moment. Moving on to number 2. This moment wasn't about a match, but about a corporate takeover that fundamentally changed the landscape of professional wrestling forever. I'm talking about Vince McMahon buying his biggest rival, WCW. For years, the Monday Night Wars have been WWE, then WWF, and WCW were the hottest thing in wrestling. The two juggernauts battling for supremacy, constantly trying to one-up each other. It was a golden age for fans. But early 2001, WCW was in serious decline. Then, March 26, 2001, Vince McMahon stood in the middle of the ring on Raw and announced to the world that he had bought his competition. The Monday Night Wars were officially over. The images of him gloating, basking in his own victory, are etched into wrestling history. And then an ultimate twist. His own son, Shane McMahon, appeared on the final episode of WCW Nitro, revealing that he was the McMahon that bought WCW. This wasn't just a business deal. It was the end of an era, a moment that consolidated all major professional wrestling power under one roof. The Invasion storyline that followed might not have lived up to expectations. The moment itself, Vince McMahon buying WCW, was seismic. And finally, before we wrap up here, we have to talk about our honorable mention that still sparks a debate. Stone Cold Steve Austin turning heel at WrestleMania X7. Austin, the biggest babyface of the Attitude Era, shaking hands with his arch nemesis Vince McMahon after beating down The Rock for the WWE Championship. It was shocking. It was a twist that nobody saw. While ultimately it didn't resonate with fans as much as Hogan's turn, it showed the willingness of WWE to take a huge risk with their biggest stars. And for that reason, it deserves a nod. And finally, our number one moment. This was a turn so shocking, so unexpected, that completely revitalized a struggling company and ushered in one of the most exciting periods in wrestling history. Each 1996. For years, Hulk Hogan was the biggest babyface in wrestling. Say your prayers, take your vitamins. The red and yellow, the good guy who always won. By 1996, his act was growing stale. Then came along Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, the outsiders, threatening to take over WCW. At Bash in the Beach, it was supposed to be the outsiders and their mystery third man against Sting, Lex Luger, and Randy Savage. Everyone expected a returning babyface to join the outsiders, even the odds. Instead, he revealed himself to be the third man and declare war on WCW. The boos were deafening. The fans threw trash into the ring. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated villainy. And it was glorious. There you have it, folks. My top 5 plus 1 most shocking and iconic moments in wrestling history. What did you think? Did I miss anything? Let me know your top moments in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more wrestling content. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.